Welcome to Relationship Equity, a podcast that explores how successful people cultivate meaningful connections with others in their personal and professional lives. Learn from the stories, insights, and advice of leaders, innovators, and influencers who have built strong bonds with their teams, their customers, their communities, and their families. Here's Richard Walker.
I'm back with pro golfer Erik van Rooyen. We've been talking about his epic journey from South Africa to the University of Minnesota and his dramatic victory at the Worldwide Technology Championship in Mexico. All right, Freddie, you mentioned growing up with your family back in Cape Town, but tell me about the family you've built here in the States.
Well, we had an amazing wife. Met her in Minnesota first year.
At school, right?
At school, in the same dormitory, so in the same hallway. We met there. Started dating soon after, and we've been together.
By the way, I'm going to interrupt you. Your eyes just lit up when you said this. Seriously, I hope she can hear you in the background because your eyes lit up and this big smile came on your face, and it's great to see.
I mean, I got lucky. That's just the truth of it. So, met at uni. I went back to South Africa after I graduated in 2013 to start professional golf on the Sunshine Tour. And she moved to South Africa right after we got married. We got married a year later in 2014, and she moved to South Africa, and we lived there for 5 years. She learned my home language, which is Afrikaans, which is a difficult language to learn anyway. So sacrificed a big part of her life to come live with me. And now we've got two beautiful kids. My daughter's 2.5, my boy's 1. We live in Jupiter, Florida. It's golf heaven. We're pretty blessed.
Your life changes. You just cannot mentally prepare for when kids come along. You wait till that's the oldest adage in the world. You can't prepare, but you also can't prepare for how fast it goes. In the early years, it seems slow, but when our eldest is getting married on the island here in a couple of weeks, and we have 126, 123, and I can remember like it was yesterday when our first one came out. But it gives you a whole different perspective on life. Yes, you're a professional golfer. You got to be focused on your job. How do you handle that with family life? Because you don't have a regular family life. You're all over the world. The other thing is I don't understand how do you deal with jet lag? It takes me a week to get over it.
Yeah, I don't have a secret, to be honest. I think my years spent traveling the DP World Tour, that it kind of helped me just to suck it up, to be honest. I think working out's important, like getting fresh air or going for a run or just moving your body, but don't sleep in, get up and get going. To get back to family, I called my mom soon after my daughter was born, and I said, "Mom, I'm sorry," because not that I was a terrible kid, but for the first time I understand how you love me.
Right. Perspective changes.
I was 16 and I thought I knew exactly what the world was about, and I knew nothing. And so that's the one thing that I mean, unconditional love. You only have that for your kids.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. Okay, I got to ask you a couple of other questions. I've got so many questions. We're going to run out of time here. So you had, I would argue, the best mustache ever on the golf tour. Gary McCord, you competed. I think you got the gold and he got a close silver. But now you've gone to the beard thing. When are we going to see that mustache back again? I mean, that was world class, man.
Yeah, it's got to come back, I think. I've had too many people kind of prod me a little bit and, ask the same question. Even, this week at Waste Management, everybody was kind of saying the same thing. So I think I've got to give the people.
You got to do it. You know me. I like uniqueness. So I love that mustache. But I got to tell you, conversely, what the hell is the deal with those bloody awful ankle biters you wear?
Oh, go on.
More of them have come in now. It's like, Spieth wearing them. What the hell is it with those? Are the ugliest bloody things I've ever seen, Freddie.
I'll send you a pair. You'll change your mind real quick.
Yeah. Hopefully you got fat bastard size.
We can figure it out. Don't worry. I know a good tailor.
You need a very good tailor. I'm not sure I could pull those off, I have been known to wear plus fours on a regular basis, but those ankle biters might be the ugliest items of clothing.
I started wearing them in 2019 when I started wearing Grayson at the Open at Royal Portrush. I got a lot of stick for it, because here's the most traditional tournament, the ultimate of the ultimate. And the funny thing is, I find myself to be a bit of a traditionalist as well, okay? So here I am wearing something like this. and now it seems like some guys are starting to wear them, and some people like them. So
I tell you what, if you send me a pair of pink ones, I might just put them on.
I've got some. Send me your address. Get it sorted.
I'm going to throw some quick questions at you now. The favorite golf course you've ever played and why?
Carnoustie.
Why?
Probably because it was my first major championship.
Right.
But it's where I fell in love with links golf, and I don't think there is anything better on this planet. Like links golf is the ultimate. So Carnoustie.
You know, it's funny you say that because in the same conversation I had with Ben Crenshaw, I asked him about the difference between golf over in the UK and golf here. Which did he prefer? He said over there by far. I said why? He said because of the natural elements. It's real golf. I said I couldn't disagree with you more. I like the green and I like to fire at flags. So it's again matter of perspective. Traditional wear or ankle biters.
100%.
All right, next one. Golf course you've never played or you haven't played yet that you'd love to. Are there any? I mean, you've played all over the world. Are there any that come to mind you've not played yet?
Probably Cyprus. I've not played Cyprus just because I've heard of the beauty. I've played pretty much all the great ones in South Africa. I've played a lot of really good ones in the UK. Muirfield. I've never played Muirfield. Love to have the chance to play an open championship there. Yeah.
How fun would that be? All right, here's one. Here's kind of to use an American term, a curveball for you. You're a musician or pretend to be. So
Pretend.
Right, self-taught musician. So as a golfer, what are you? Probably +6, +7, some one of those numbers.
As a golfer, yeah, sure. I'll be a +6. Yeah, sure.
So what index would you give yourself as a musician?
Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, I'm no Jimi Hendrix, that's for sure. If Jimmy is a +6, I'd probably say I'm a single digit. You know?
Are you really? You're that good? I haven't heard you play it.
Yeah, I'm not a 10 handicap, but I'm not a scratch either. But I could break 80.
What's your favorite music to play?
So I grew up listening to punk rock as a kid.
Sex Pistols.
Yeah, exactly. My dad is a big Neil Young fan, Mark Knopfler, that kind of vibe. So that was always played in the house. But then you obviously, you know, when you're a teenager, you start listening to your own stuff. So a lot of punk rock. But then my father-in-law got me onto blues. He's a big blues and jazz guy. Yeah. Once you start listening to some blues, I mean, the whole guitar world just opens up. Yeah. So anything from Foo Fighters to Beatles to any good blues music, it really varies.
Favorite Beatles song? What is it to play?
I don't know. Hey Jude always comes to mind because I think that the ending of it and Paul McCartney's voice is just stunning in the way he can get the whole crowd going. Yesterday's great. Yesterday's fun to play.
You saw that movie, right? Yesterday. That's a funny movie.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it really was. It's a funny movie. You know, I have so much respect for any professional athlete, but I have to tell you, I've got even more respect for musicians because I can't play the spoons. Now, don't get me wrong. After 8 pints of Guinness, I am Elvis.
Sure.
So, but I would love to be able to play a musical instrument. All right, another curveball for you. If you can only win one more golf tournament for the rest of your career, where would it be and which tournament?
The Open, probably St. Andrews.
Yeah, I would have guessed exactly that. I mean, maybe there's too easy of an answer, but you got to go to the home of golf and win the Open, right?
I mean, there's so many special links courses, but that's where everything starts. So that was also my first experience with links golf was at the Dunhill Links in 2016.
Right.
So that's where my love for links golf started. Yeah.
Incredible. Okay, I'm going to have some quick fire questions. We're going to round it off now. This will be a fun conversation, Freddie. Quick fire questions for you. Quick fire answers required. Favorite food?
Ooh, braai, South Africa.
Oh, and biltong.
That's it.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, boy, I've never seen that movie. Am I the only one on the planet that's not seen it?
Yeah.
Least favorite food? Don't say fish and chips.
Ooh, seafood.
Favorite place you've ever been to, not golf related?
Town called Jongensfontein. My parents have a beach out there. We've been there. I've been there since I was 5 years old. I go there.
It's very personal.
Oh, it's very personal. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. Somewhere you've never been to in the world you'd like to go to. Again, not golf related.
New Zealand.
Yeah, I haven't been there either. I understand they've got a lot of sheep. They've got good lamb there. And not a bad rugby team either, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Best ever golf experience?
It has to be my first major, which was the Open at Carnoustie. My mom and dad, I had the second tee time that morning. Keimer was off first with Sandy Lyle, and I think
you were leading that tournament at one point.
Yeah, I was leading. Yeah. I was tied for the lead within the final round. I was tied for the lead.
I know, we were freaking out. I was actually playing at the time, following our phones while it was fantastic.
So yeah, Carnoustie, the Open, that's got to be it. I mean, playing the Masters my first time was special too, but I think with the fact that it was my first major and my mom and dad being in the stand, nothing comes close to it. Yeah.
So when your parents are there, and that's got to be a different feel as well. When you know they are there, does that change your mindset at all? Does it come into your mind? You try and tune it out?
I can tune it out now. As a kid, I struggled with it. There's an element of, while I want to make my dad proud, I mean, he's the one that introduced me to the game. So as a kid, I struggled with it because, my dad's watching. But now, I mean, I've done it so many times. It's just fun to have them with me.
Yeah, I bet it is. Okay, one last question, my friend, and then we're done. And this is a stupid, be very careful with this answer, especially if your wife's listening in the background.
She's gone, don't worry.
Okay. Well, she might listen to this back, so be careful with your answer. Your best ever life experience?
Birth of my daughter.
I think you passed. I was hoping it wasn't going to be golf related.
No. Birth of my daughter, and I was right there in the thick of it. You know,
I'm not kidding. I just got tingles thinking about when I was 29 years ago when she came out. And I'll tell you a quick funny story because I'm probably going to be telling this at a wedding that's coming up now. My wife, as she was breaking my arm, getting ready to give birth, I said to her, because I was a proper ginger growing up, Freddie, and before my hair fell out, I said to her, Lisa, you do realize, because we did the old-fashioned way, we didn't know it was a boy or a girl. I said to Lisa, you do realize that this baby's going to be a ginger, don't you? And she looked at me and she said, if that thing's a ginger, I'm putting it back in.
Ed?
Oh, she came out all red hair.
Oh, there you go.
Put her back in, and don't tell her I said this, but she's a beautiful young lady. In fact, my nickname for her is Ugly, and her nickname for me is Uglier. So we've got a great relationship. Well, I can't thank you enough, my friend, for just being very open and wonderful conversation, and good luck for the upcoming week and the rest of your career. I'll see you at Augusta. I'll be there to watch.
Thanks, Richard, and thanks for your time. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'll see you at the Masters.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
And that's it for another episode of Relationship Equity. Please make sure to leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss out on future episodes. Cheers, and I'll see you next time.
This has been Relationship Equity. If you want to take your career, your business, or your personal relationships to the next level, reach out to Richard at yorksolutions.net. You can also get Richard's book, Relationship Equity, your cornerstone investment to great gains in business and life, on Amazon now. Relationship Equity with Richard Walker is a production of Forbes Books.